Hi, my name is Okechukwu Ofili, CEO Okada Books. This is the Union Bank Campus Writing Challenge. You can apply below, but before you apply, I encourage you to listen to this video by award-winning writer Toni Kan called The 7 Deadly Sins of Nigerian Writing. Listen to the video, avoid these sins, and you might walk away with 500,000 Naira as the first ever Union Bank Campus Writing Challenge winner.
Hello, my name is Toni Kan. I'm a writer, and I'll be talking about the 7 deadly sins of Nigerian writing, or why many Nigerian writers will not make heaven. So now we know about the 7 deadly sins of Christian teaching, right? They are also called the cardinal sins. So there's pride, there's greed, there's envy, there's lust, there's gluttony, there's wrath, and there's sloth. Now, in my years of reading Nigerian writing, I've discovered 7 deadly sins of Nigerian writing. And I want to share them with you. And I am aware that in sharing them with you, I will be shaking a table. So bear with me. The first deadly sin of Nigerian writing is overwriting. What you will say with 2 words, you want to say it with 5 words because you want to show you've been to school. You cannot be showing can now, you know. So when you overwrite, it's like somebody who is overdressed, you know, who is chloriotin, you know, who is not very elegant. So there's a quote I like to use for this. It's by Blaise Pascal. And he said, I didn't have time to write you a short letter, so I wrote you a long one. He's not saying he doesn't know how to write short. He's just saying that I've written out my thoughts. If I had more time, I would have edited it and made it brief so that I can convey the thing I want to say to you. So brevity is the soul of business. It is also the soul of writing. There's a guy called J.M. Kuche who wrote the book Disgrace, which won the Booker Prize. That book is just 218 pages long, and he won the Booker Prize. So why do you want to write a 400-page novel? Why? So repeat after me. I don't have to write a 400-page novel. Sin number 2. Reinventing the wheel. Now, you read something that you like, you enjoy it, you want to write in that fashion, then you go ahead and mess it up. So if they say a book is a coming-of-age novel, there's a reason why it's called a coming-of-age novel. There must be growth, both physical and psychological and emotional. You know, the person will move from one point of his life to another point of his life. So a Bindex roman is a coming-of-age novel, and it has attributes that make it what it is. You cannot change it. You must not change it. If you're writing a romance novel, the people will meet, they will sleep together, they will fight, they will break up, they will unite, and live happily ever after. If you're writing for Mills and Boone, they say he must be rich, he must have blue eyes and dark hair, and he must be able to ride a horse or own a Lamborghini. So this is what it is. You have to follow the rules for certain kinds of writing. You cannot reinvent the wheel. Sin number 3. Cliches. A cliche is a cliche because it is a cliche. So the advice for writers is this: avoid a cliche. But if you must use it the way it has been used for centuries. Don't try and start playing smart and changing it. Writers Digest, that small book, magazine, has given a list of cliches you must avoid. The first one is avoid it like the plague. So Writers Digest has said to you, avoid using avoid it like the plague. The second one is dead as a doornail. Have you ever seen a doornail in the mortuary? Third one is take the tiger by the tail. The fourth one is low-hanging fruits. The fifth one is if only walls could talk. The sixth one is the pot calling the kettle black. The seventh one is think outside the box. The eighth one is thick as thieves. The ninth one is but at the end of the day. The 10th one is plenty of fish in the sea. The 11th one is every dog has his day. The 12th one is like a kid in a candy store. The guy that won the Echelard Prize a few years ago, his book starts with after many days, which is from the Bible, you know. So, you know, it might look like a cliche, but the way he uses it, he makes it fresh. So if you want to use a cliche, use it the way it is used and try and make it fresh. Scene number 4. Grammar. So when we were in school, there's something that was called brighter grammar. Before you become a writer, I think you should go and read it. I'm not saying go and read it from page to page, but you know, just try and remember what you were taught in school while you were busy writing a note to that girl or boy beside you. So the biggest sin we commit in Nigerian writing is the use of prepositions, so to, at, in, around, before. I saw him in campus. Instead of I saw him on campus, you know, he threw it at her, you know. So you have to know how those things are used, how to is used, how at is used, how in is used, how around is used, how before is used. It's not very difficult, but you have to pay attention. And this is where an advice that people always ignore comes in. To be a writer, you don't have to write. To be a writer, you have to read. Because when you read, you see how things are used, and you can also do it yourself. So it's learning from practice. So try and read good books and see how they've used these parts of speech. Then we have the active and passive voices, the transitive and intransitive verbs, you know. So an active voice, passive voice, you know what it is. We'll show examples where you speak in a direct way or you speak an indirect way, or then you use a verb as a noun or a noun as a verb. The rule is this: nouns are not verbs and verbs are not nouns, even though they can sometimes function as each other. But you have to know what they are first to know how they will function. So, for example, he told her to move her car, right? So we're looking at verbs acting as nouns and nouns acting as verbs. So he told her to move her car, right? So move here is the verb, to move the car, right? Then that's the latest dance move. Now, move here is no longer an action word, it's now a noun. It is something that is happening in town that is raining. So shaku shaku is the latest dance move. It's not a noun, even though you're moving, it's now a thing. So, example of the active and passive voice, Peju, for the first time in many years, was going to drive herself. Then, for the first time in many years, Peju was going to drive herself. That is more active. The first one was passive. So, why do you want to use two more commas and rack up on your word count? So just say for the first time in many years, Peju was going to drive herself. There's just one comma you're using there. So, and it even sounds better in your ears, especially when you're writing in the present tense. The active voice is always faster, it's always more, you know, evenly paced. Somebody says to you, we are going to watch a movie tonight, active voice. And somebody says, tonight, we're going to watch a movie, as if it's a threat, you know, doesn't work. A few months ago, the president pardoned, gave an award, the posthumous award to MKO Abiola, you know, and somebody was saying to me, Buhari has tried though, because what they did to Abiola was horrible. So what they did to Abiola was horrible. Active voice. Then somebody decided to say, horrible, what they did to Abiola, using the passive voice. They both work. Now, you know what the active voice is, you know what the passive voice is, but the exception is this. When you're narrating, it's different from when you're quoting somebody, because when you're quoting, it's often colloquial and informal. You can do the horrible, what you did to him, but if you're writing straight narrative, please keep the active voice going. Sin number 5, superfluity. It's more like overwriting, but here where you're using words that you don't have to use. And the biggest one is vociferously, maliciously, blah blah blah, seriously, slightly. Those lee words can put you in trouble, right? So somebody says, if I catch you, I will kill you. He warned maliciously. Okay, let's flip it. If I catch you, I will kill you lovingly. It doesn't work. The context tells you whether you need that maliciously or not. So once you've said, if I catch you, I will kill you, we know it's a warning. There's no way you're going to be saying lovingly or with pleasure or whatever. So problems of adverbs can be problematic in Nigerian writing. Somebody says, I will consider your suggestion. This is completely good. But Nigeria, we have to say very, very. I'm very, very happy. So instead of just saying, I will consider your suggestion, somebody says, I will seriously consider your suggestion. Just to show that I will do it, like I said. But I think that seriously should be placed there. Sometimes people will place it at the end. I will consider your suggestion seriously for emphasis. Or somebody says, we'll be slightly late to the meeting. Or somebody says, we'll be late to the meeting slightly. You need to know how to use those adverbs when you're using them in those contexts. So again, to understand it, to use it well, it's always important for you to see how people have used it, to read other books where people have used it and used it well. But most times, you don't even need the seriously or slightly. So I will consider your suggestion, he said, staring into her eyes and holding her gaze. This shows seriousness. This shows emphasis. You don't need seriously to push this. The one I'm going to talk about again is when we use ago. I saw her 10 minutes ago. She had not visited since she was 22 years, 7 years ago. I mean, she had not visited since she was 22, 7 years past, 7 years before, 7 years earlier. These are also words you can use. Don't use ago all the time. People do that a lot. I don't know where it comes from. That can put you in trouble. Sin number 6, passing off. Now you're a young writer, you're in university, you're learning to write, so I will forgive you. Once you say, Toni Kan, forgive me for I have sinned, I'll forgive you. But see, you cannot be Chimamanda, you cannot be Achebe, you can't be Shoyinka, you can't be Helen Habila. No, you cannot. You must write the way you have to write. Find your own language, find your own signature, find your own style. In your early books, early short stories, your first manuscript, you will copy people. It's okay. You will copy the people you like, their books, you like the way they write. But as you mature as a writer, you must find your own voice. So, let me not catch you sounding like another person in your second book. You hear? Sin number 7. Niger English is Niger English. The one that surprises me the most is he pulled her and led her away. We are always pulling people in Nigeria. Pull them come out, pull them down, pull them inside. We're always pulling people, and I don't know where it comes from. You can grab, you can reach for. When you say pull, it's as if something bad is going to happen. You want to touch somebody, you can reach for her, you can grab her, you can touch, you don't have to pull. I think pull, it sounds in a local language, and we'll put it in English. Somebody wrote something, I read, and said, the soldier tapped her on the chest and said, dress back. What is dress back exactly? Did that mean step back? Does that mean move back? So then the one that happened a lot is he returned the cup back to the shelf. Okay. Would we have said he returned the cup front to the shelf? No, so you don't need that back. It's just redundant. So he returned the cup to the shelf. That works perfectly well. So I hope I have shown you the 7 deadly sins of Nigerian writing, and I look forward to welcoming you to Writers Heaven.